Welcome back, Bob the Vapor Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at the Merlin Mouth to Lung RTA. Alright, so this is the Merlin MTL RTA, MTL meaning mouth to lung, in case you didn't know. Got mine on my Augvape Zoom 60. I think it's a perfect combination. You can see the size there. This is a 60 watt box mod. I got the build in there with the coil it came with, which is coming out to, if it ever wants to switch that screen, I think it was a 0.2, 0.3, something like that. It's not showing me on the screen here. 0.26, there we go, 0.26, vaping it at 40 watts, all right? And this thing is great. I'm really happy with this, but we're gonna dive down to the table before I tell you any more. Okay, so today we're taking a look at the new Augvape Merlin MTL RTA. MTL is mouth to lung. All right, they come in these nice packages lately, and this is my first look at it as well. We'll check it out, and then we'll vape on it, and we'll go back up and talk about it. So you got your Allen key there. It's going to be the tank. Let's see what else is in here first. What other goodies come with it? Nothing else in there. All right, so we got a coil here. It says Augvape homemade coil, single coil, because it is a mouth to lung device, so it'll be a single coil device. Got an extra glass. You got replacement. Look at that. That's cool. That's this is the old style drip tips. All right. Oh, it's a nice heavy one too, metal. Look at that nice little hole there for mouth to lung vaping. All right. Standard 510. That's nice. That's old school. Got some extra screws in here, all different parts. And let's see what those parts are going to work with. Let's zoom in a little bit for you here. And let's take a look. So we got Augvape name on the top. Right now, that's a really thick drip tip on there. Let's take that off. All right. See how it looks with this. If you're going mouth to lung, that's what you want. Old school. Let's see. So you got your airflow on the bottom, really smooth. Let's see, that tightens. Yes, it does have stoppers, but obviously if you keep turning, that's what takes off your bottom. Well, no, that's a ring. See, that's why we do this together, first time looking at it. So that's just a ring. But let's force it out and take off the base. All right. Let's look at that base. Come on, focus. Interesting. So you got your wicking down here. Your wicking is going to go through that hole, and this whole area is going to fill with juice. And it looks like you got two types of posts here. Let's open it up. That's interesting. Two different areas to put your coils in. Let's see. So you can open up these side ones. Let me get this. Let's zoom in a little more for you. This is. Got to see this up close. There we go. So you can put your coils in the side here and here. Open this one up too. All right, so you can easily put a coil from here to here, but it looks like you can go down here as well. Let's see what that does. Let's take a look at the rest. It's top fill, but that looks like it might pop off instead of screw off. So you screw that back on, and you leave that on. Let's see if the top just pops right off. Okay, so it took a while just to get that loose for the first time. All right. But when you take off your top piece, the top fill is threaded. It's threaded right through the center, through the 510 there, you'll see. As we pull that apart, all right, the threading is right around here, around that centerpiece. So it was just the first time, I think it was just tight. Let's put it back together and show you what I mean. Now there's an O-ring there, of course, to keep the seal, but that's what's going to make it a little tight. To separate unscrewing this top from this bottom piece, which actually is the top of the glass, closes the actual tank. It could be a little difficult. The best thing to do would be to tighten it this way, and really crank it down pretty good without cracking your glass, of course. And then when you put this on, you're just going to make that snug. Alright? And once it's on like that and it's snug, now you should be able to unscrew it pretty easily for top filling. And it was just the first time this was attached pretty tight to this. I don't think that'll be a problem in the future, but once we start using it, we will find out. Alright, got out my Sigo tattoo mod. Remember that? It's got that big retro style display on there. Let's clean that off a little bit. Let's throw this on. Let's grab that coil they gave us. I don't know, they go through a whole case here just for the coil. I guess that's nice. Guess they want you to see that they're probably going to start selling coils. The coil here. Alright, so that's the coil they give us. The question is, which way should we put it on? Let's zoom back in. Right, so it's a single coil, but it's a pretty large diameter coil. And what we're going to do here, alright, we're going to put the coil in this way. So we're going to bend this a little bit more. So I got a post that it'll fit pretty good on. Alright, straighten out the coil like that. As you can see, get it pretty level. Now if we take that coil and we open these top, they're still open, but let's open a little more. So we're going to throw it in here. And if you want, because it's in place and it can sit there, you can actually bend it exactly how you want it ahead of time. Okay, so I can put this in here, force it down, which you're not going to see great from there. Alright, but you can see here I can force it down, get it closer to my airflow. Then once I get this in here, we can crank that down and crank the other side down. Oh, popped out. Let me get it in here, then you'll see it. Okay, so I just want to jump to this for a second. I forgot to show you this. These are the, let's see if I can do this without dropping them here. These are the little pieces that come with it for the airflow control. Alright, and what I mean by airflow control, come on, focus. Focus, yeah. These are the pieces that are going to allow you to really make this mouth to lung. By popping these in, depending which one you want, for how restrictive you want it, that's going to cut out that center airflow. Alright, that's your airflow coming in from the bottom through that center hole right there. So by taking one of these, and let me get a flat screwdriver, and find the tool you want when you need it. This is what allows you to cut down the airflow. So I'm going to take, let's see if I can show you, that's the smallest. Those are the three. And I'm going to take the largest one, because I do like a little more airflow, okay? And we're going to take that, refocus. I'm going to pop that in that center hole. Any day now. There we go. So those threads do take a little while just to get them caught right, but once you do, it goes in good. So there you go. That's the biggest one, but that's going to cut down that airflow hole, I'd probably say in half from what it was before, and make it more restrictive. And you do have two others giving you the option to make it a lot more restrictive. Okay, so we got it in there. Bend it down a little bit more now, although it's pretty good to the airflow. I can bring it down a little more. There we go. That's beautiful. Look at that. I'm going to cut our leads off. And there we go. I'm set for 42 watts. Let's give it a little pulsing here. go, starting to glow. A little bit of a hot spot inside there. Inside I'm getting a little bit of a hot spot. Can you see that? No, you can't. See that? Yeah, you saw right inside there real quick. There's a hot spot in there. There we go. Too close. All right, let's wick it. Oh, that feels perfect. Little snug, not too much. Also, you can see in this mouth-to-lung tank, there's not much of a distance between your cotton and the holes, and you can easily just drop it and have it sitting down in there. So this should be a pretty simple cut. Pretty easy now. Just take this, tuck it in the hole, loose, don't pack it tight. You pack it tight, juice won't flow good, but it can't be too loose or you'll leak, as juice will creep up around the cotton. Now we gotta get some high neck juice to throw in here. Alright, so let's juice it up. You gonna focus? There we go. Always wet your wicks. Is that too bright? Look at that old school tank. Now, you do not have, turn the light back on here, does not look like there's any kind of juice flow control. Not that there ever was in the old days, so we're just going to close off the airflow. Unscrew that top. Fill her up and hope we don't leak. You know, the trick is you get it down here, you get a little snug, turn it upside down, tighten it the rest of the way, so you're not putting as much pressure onto the cotton. And there we go. Open our airflow back up. And there you go, that's the Merlin Mouth-to-Lung RTA. Let's go back up on top. Okay, so we're back. There you go, that's the Merlin Mouth-to-Lung RTA. Now with that center, you see you can replace those inner center pins how you like it. You can also control it just by turning your airflow, of course, but that really makes it much more restrictive. If you remove that little center pin for the airflow that's underneath your coil, this could be a direct lung. You know, slightly restrictive, but for the most part, a direct lung inhaling tank. So don't be fooled when it says mouth to lung. It is not only a mouth to lung. Is my camera crooked? It's not only a mouth to lung. It is also a mouth to lung. You pop that in, that little airflow restrictor, and you get a mouth to lung. I have that in there right now. I have the largest one in there, and I have the airflow almost completely open, and it's a great vape. Really nice. I'm really enjoying it. I love the old school look about the tank. I love the old school drip tip. I love that you can replace those pins for the air restrictiveness on there. It's a great overall tank. The only thing I say I wish was a little different was this top. I wish it wasn't so tight. When you crank it down, like I said, if you crank it down too tight, you're going to have a problem because you can't hold the little piece there. You can see it's just that little sliver there. You can't hold that while you open up your airflow easily. And then, of course, you're going to take apart the tank when you try open up your juice flow, I should say, to fill it. It's not even juice flow. What's wrong with me today? It's been a long work day. So you can't really hold that down while you're opening up to top fill it easily if you crank it down too much. So I wish if that was a little bit higher and there was a little bit of knurling on there so you could hold that when you were turning it, would have made it perfect. But again, just don't crank it down. Crank down around the glass without cracking your glass, and then just don't crank down the very top cap after you fill it, and it works great. So it's the Merlin mouth to lung RTA, but not only mouth to lung. And it's doing a great job. I've been very happy with it, especially on this Zoom 60 from Augvape. It's just a great combination. So there you go. That's the Merlin RTA MTL RTA.